Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers Newark Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
Thank you, Sally and Z. Always great to hear from you. Always grateful for the way you guide and set up our community here for success, for happiness, for joy, for a good mindfulness session. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody joining in coming up. It's a beautiful time of year that we hopefully get a little more rest. I know there's stress that comes along with this time of year, but during the holiday season, a little bit more rest maybe I think is a great gift to our body, and to really help that rest to be, for me, in my experience, to be deep and fruitful when I have a little bit extra time off, a little time around family maybe. I love to still pay attention to my health and wellness practices. I will enjoy, for example, afternoon Thanksgiving tomorrow much more deeply if I do something sort of physical, mindful, exercise, spiritual in the morning. It really sets me up for a happy, healthy, enjoyable day with family, friends, food, all that good stuff, and then more rest later. So thank you for joining us this morning. I think this is going to set you up really well for the next few days for deeper enjoyment, deeper happiness, deeper relaxation. And then just a little advertisement. I'm helping to cover Friday's chair-based yoga class. So it's definitely sort of inspired by the yoga tradition. I'll be leading that on Friday. It's a great time. I think it'll help you pull out of whatever you get into tomorrow and set you up for a deeper and healthier weekend. So great time of year to still pay attention to our bodies, our souls, our minds. That's what we're doing here today. We've got our typical setup here: warm up, few rounds of exercises out of our chair, few rounds of exercises standing, meditation to close, and of course, with Thanksgiving, we'll do a little mindfulness review with a little extra focus, I think, dwelling on gratitude. Good time of year to do that. And hopefully that will give us some deeper spiritual insights and a deeper preparedness to bring our joy, our peace, our love, our kindness, our light to whoever we're seeing over the next few days. So as I said, I'm doing a little bit of yoga on Friday, which I've been loving, getting back in touch with some of the yoga techniques and traditions I know. I love how yoga starts off with some deep breathing. I'd love to start off with you with that today, I think, as we did last week, maybe. And this is out of the Bikram yoga tradition, the hot yoga, pranayama, sort of a deep breathing opening exercise I love to start off with. So let's get into that as part of our warm-up. We're going to interlock our fingers, fold our fingers together. We're going to place those lightly beneath our chin. And then the flow here, yoga is very much about breathing flow, is going to be inhale deeply through your nose and let your elbows rise up nice and gently. And then exhaling out of your mouth, you're gently pushing your head back and bringing your elbows together. And then nice circular flow coming back down a little bit, inhaling through the nose, elbows are coming up, floating in the air. Exhaling deeply, fully out of the mouth, bringing the elbows together. Inhale, arms rising up as we came a little bit forward. Exhale, fully out, fully blow out, and elbows coming together. Inhale, your stomach expands. Exhale, bring your belly button towards your spine. Inhale through the nose, elbows floating up. Exhale out of the mouth, elbows coming together. Let's do a few more on this on your own. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling out of the mouth. Keep it going on your own. Let's do 2 more on your own rhythm. One more, elbows rising up. Exhaling out of the mouth. Good, let those arms fall gently to the side. Always refining our posture, shaking things out in between, staying loose, staying gentle with our body, adapting the movements as they come. You know, those are our basics. So good deep breathing to start, aligning our breath with our movements. Good thing to pay attention to mindfully throughout any movement, aligning the breath in some way with the movement we're doing. Moving on, we're going to warm up the rest of our body a little bit. That got us going with some deep breathing. So we're going to do just some gentle neck circles halfway. So we're going to bring our chin down towards your chest, roll the neck halfway over to the left ear, comes to the left shoulder, and then halfway to the right side, right ear coming to the right shoulder. Gently half circle to the left side, gentle half circle to the right. Over to the left. This time when we come over to the left, I want you to hang out here for a moment. Get a little deep into that stretch. Good posture still. I'm sitting upright everywhere else. Left ear is coming towards the left shoulder. I could reach that arm out to add a little bit more to the stretch. When we do that, spread those fingers out. Full stretch through the neck. And you could do a little gentle pull with the other hand if you want to go a little deeper. But remembering good posture, deep breathing throughout. Deep inhale, and then as you exhale, let's come over to the right side. Right ear coming over the right shoulder. Good posture everywhere else, sitting upright and alert. My feet are flat on the floor. Breathing is steady. Let's reach out that left arm if we're looking to add a little bit intensity to the stretch. Continuing breathing deeply. Adding a little extra stretch with that right arm with a pull away from the shoulder, gently. Spread those fingers out, wiggle the fingers, turn the shoulder over a little bit, feel how that affects the stretch. And with a good exhale, let our arms fall gently to the side. Excellent. We're gonna get moving a little bit more, get the blood flowing. We got guests coming over tomorrow. Our windows are dirty. We're gonna do some window washers. So we're gonna clean our window here on the right side. We want those windows nice and sparkly. Come up top, it's a nice big window. Reach out to the side over here. Reach down low. These are floor to ceiling windows. Wiping off the whole window here. Let's come over to the left side. Let's reach up top. Reach out to the side. Reach down bottom. Good. Try to remember which circle direction you were going in, and let's just do it the opposite way with the other arm. Reach up top. Out to the side. Down bottom. Good. Coming the other way with the left arm, trying to do the opposite direction circle from the last time, if you could remember. Reach up top. Coming out to the side. Down bottom. Good, good exhale, deep breathing, shake everything out, getting loose in between. Always finding our good posture in between movements. Good. Moving down through our legs a little bit more. We're going to do a high cross of our leg. So the ankle coming over the other side, our right ankle coming over the side of our left thigh. We're sitting nice and tall, and we're just going to do a turn to the side, using a little bit of our arm to help us get into a deeper stretch by pulling against our knee. But then sitting upright, remembering our good posture, sitting up nice and tall through the crown of our head. You should feel a little stretch on the outside of your hip flexor. Nice engagement through the core, sitting upright, trying to open up that chest on the right side. Breathing deeply, going a little bit deeper into the stretch on the exhales. Always find that good posture in between. Let's hang here for a little bit more. Good, release that leg. Let's bring the left leg over the right thigh here. Again, sitting upright, nice tall posture. Turning to the left, looking over our shoulder, sitting up nice and tall, pulling up nice and high through the crown of our head. Good posture throughout this, using our right arm to pull us a little bit more deeply into the stretch. Little stretch on the outside of our left leg, that hip area. Sitting nice and tall, breathing deeply. Good, release that leg. Similar stretch, but slightly different, sort of similar seated position. We're not going to cross over this time. Now our shin is going to be parallel to the floor, and we're going to lean over, still keeping good posture. My back is flat, my chest is up, only to where you could get to, supporting yourself gently with your arms here if you need it, only to where the stretch feels good through your right leg, through the hip flexor, the outer hip, the glute. Little stretch through there, coming forward more deeply as we can and as it's comfortable. But still, I got a good posture. My back is engaged, my chest is up, and I'm breathing deeply and steadily throughout. Sitting back up, let that right leg go down, left leg coming up. Again, should start already to feel a good stretch through the hip, hip flexor and glute, bending over gently to where we start to feel a good stretch, but we still got good posture. My chest is open, breathing deeply. Good, let that leg fall to the ground. That's a great starting warm up. It's got us going, ready to get into our first set of seated exercises. It's cold these days. If you still feel like you're warming up and haven't started even sweating yet a little bit, then maybe take this first round a little bit slower. That's always fine, depending on the temperature of your room, how long ago you just got up. Maybe you need a little bit more time on warm up. Maybe you're ready to go. If you need a little bit more time on that warm up, definitely just take these movements out of the chair, sort of half pace, and then in the second round, you'll be ready to go. But that's up to you, always reading your body, always aware of what your body needs, what your body's ready for. That's what these workouts are about. So we got 5 movements coming up. We're going to do seated jumping jacks, little clap overhead, getting the arms flowing, going to get our blood pressure, our pulse up, everything getting warmed up. That's the first movement. We're going to do seated lunges. We've got a few options here. If you don't have arms on your chair, this is the main one, my favorite. We're going to do 5 or so reps out of this, maybe 5 to 10 reps, and then we'll come over to the left side. So my inner leg is being supported on the chair. The leg that's down is a little bit more free, and I'm driving up through this leg that's on the chair. That's going to be the first version of this movement. If that's difficult for you, a little too difficult, but you could get here, just hang out here. You could reach an arm overhead. That's going to prepare you to do more of a lunge down the line. If your chair is a little different, this is certainly a good option as well. Very similar. Left leg being supported by the chair. I could lunge out of this. If you have arms on your chair, that might be a little difficult. We could come here and we could get sort of a half lunge, or we could just hang out here with our leg beneath the chair, get a good stretch. All of those will work. That's our second movement. We'll work through the options. Third movement is our push-aways. So we're pushing up and down, coming the other way, pushing up and down. The movement is coming out of the spine. Think of sitting tall, upright through your spine on that movement. Fourth movement is going to be double ankle circles. We're going to extend our legs. We're going to do some ankle circles one way, play around with the different ways we can move our ankle while sitting upright and alert. It's going to work our core, our quads, and our ankle flexibility and mobility. Fourth movement is going to be alternating rows. And keep our arms out front, pull back, and do a nice row. Those are our 5 first movements. We'll do those twice, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. You know the story. Let's get right into it. Sitting towards the front of our chair. 40 seconds of seated jumping jacks, beginning now. Getting the shoulders moving here. Getting the heart rate up. Coming up top into a little bit of a clap position. But as you go through this, and as we're getting warmer and warmer, one thing I like to do is think about my hands and my fingers a little bit on this movement. Wiggle my fingers around, change my wrist position. See how that affects the movement, helps to loosen the forearms up, the elbows, gets the blood flowing out to all parts of our body. We're going to pause here in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Next up is going to be a seated lunge. So we're going to do 5 to 10 reps or so on the left side for 20 seconds. Then we'll come over 5 to 10 reps on the right side. Again, this is the main position. If I'm facing towards my left here, my left leg is on the chair. My right leg is more free. We're going to drive up through the left leg. Rest down here. If that gets to be a little too hard or this is an uncomfortable position, we could just sit here and stretch, reaching the arm up overhead. We'll add a little bit more of a stretch to that. And then the other 2 options I showed you, if the side of the chair feels most comfortable, that's a good option. The chair supporting my left leg here, or I could come under the chair for a deep stretch and hold sitting here. Again, reaching the opposite arm up overhead will give us some variety. There was a lot of explaining. I hope you could get into this first move, or you have a good variation for you. If all that's not working, we could always just do leg extensions. Great variation as well. But let's get into this left side lunge. Good posture, 90 degrees at all the major joints. We're going to do 5 to 10 reps here, about 20 seconds, switch over to the other side. Let's get into that in 3, 2, 1. So coming up into a good lunge, sitting back down, driving through this left leg. Feel those glutes, that quad working. We're at 3 reps. Coming up, sitting down. If this tires you out and then you need a break, that's fine. Come rest down here in the stretch. Rest of us are going to do 3 more reps. 2, 1. While we're up, let's come shift over to this other side lunge. Now my right leg is being supported. Check my posture. Let's get 5 to 10 good reps in here together. Coming up on a right leg, sitting down, driving through the right quad, driving through the right glute. If you need to hang down here and stretch, that's fine. Let's go for a couple more reps together. 2, 1, and rest, returning to our chair. Lunge is a tough movement, but if we can work towards that, that's going to do a lot for our ankle flexibility, our hip flexibility, knee health, all that good stuff. Great movement. Good to take some piece of it and to start to work towards that. Our third movement is going to be push-aways. We're sitting nice and tall, movement coming from our spine, stretching out as we push away. And let's go in 3, 2, 1. Pushing up. Pushing up. Opposite ways, pushing down. Pushing up and down at the same time. Not getting to full extension with the elbows. This is not about our tricep. This is about our shoulder, our back, reaching tall through our spine. Spread those fingers out, get the whole forearm involved. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Those are our push-aways. Fourth movement are going to be double ankle circles. So we're going to get a nice strong core engagement. We could support ourselves on the chair if we need to. And then we're going to extend our legs. And we're going to do ankle circles from here. And we'll play with some of those ankle circles. I'll call out some options as we go. But the big thing is full extension the whole time and working that ankle mobility. So let's come up in 3, 2, 1. Good extension, good upright posture, core engagement. 40 seconds. We're just doing ankle circles. If you need a break halfway through, take a few second break, get back into it. We could do our ankle circles both directions. We could go up and down. We could do opposites. Work our coordination. You could do an opposite way circle. Play around with the different options. Play around with your ankle mobility. We're going to hold this for 10 more. Three, 2, 1. Excellent. Little mobility coordination work there, but with good core engagement, a good quad squeeze for our legs. Last movement is going to be horizontal row. We're going to start out with both hands out front, fists sort of almost together. We're going to pull back with our right arm, pull back with our left arm. 40 seconds of work on that. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Really imagine pulling a big weight. Flexing the back muscle. Good posture, deep breathing throughout. We'll pause in 3, 2, 1. Excellent. That's our first round out of our chair. We'll repeat those exercises one more time, adding a little intensity, squeezing the muscle a little bit more, a little bit faster on some of the moves. Listen to your body and see the way you can treat this movement with a little bit more intensity. That's what we're looking for in the second round. Hopefully you're feeling better with the movements. So most of these we've done before. Good time to take a quick sip of water. And after that, it's a great time to get right back into our second set. So good seated posture towards the front of our chair, feet flat on the floor. We're going to get our jumping jacks in, going together right now. $15 more, everybody. Nice upright posture, shoulders, upper back is engaged in this movement. And we're working for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Next up is our seated lunges. Hopefully you're feeling good after that first round. If it wasn't the most comfortable movement for you, you're still warming up and you want to hit some leg extensions, that's a perfectly good substitution here. But working towards this lunge will do a lot for all of us on our journey to health and wellness. So let's start on our left side here. I'm going to shift over. My right leg's being nice and supported on the chair. My glute, my butt, my hip are on the chair. Left leg is a little bit more free towards the edge. We're going to drive through our right foot, standing up. 5 to 10 reps on this right side. 5 to 10 reps on the left side. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Good squeeze through my quad, through my right glute. Excellent work out there, everybody. And let's come over onto the left side. Finding a good position that's comfortable for you. If it gets to be a little tough, perfectly fine to stay down here and stretch for a little bit longer. Opposite arm reaching up overhead. We'll add a little bit more to the stretch. Deep breathing, good posture throughout. Let's get 2 more reps on this left side if you're with me. 1, and we'll finish. Excellent. Those lunges are going to do a lot for us. They're worth the work. Next up will be our push-aways. Again, not fully extending. It's not a tricep press. I get to about 90% fully extended, but where I'm really feeling the movement is in my upper back, my shoulder, my middle back, really stretching out. That's what we're looking for on this movement. Let's try to start with the opposite hand. That's always a good thing, is to start the opposite way we did last time. So I think I started with my left, so we'll get in starting with the right in 3, 2, 1. Really activating the muscles in your shoulder, upper back, middle back, the thoracic spine. We do that by engaging our core. $15 more seconds on this. Three, 2, 1. Excellent. Good move. Next up, I'll turn to the side just to show you a side view here. Double ankle circles. So we're sitting nice and good posture towards the front of our chair, extending the legs, still got my core engaged, and we're just playing around with our ankle mobility. Let's feel that out together for 40 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Good extension, good support. I can support myself using my arms if I need to. And now we're just going with the ankle circles. Slow it down if you need to. Explore the different parts of the movement. Again, we could go ups and downs, gas pedals, opposite. We could go together at the same time. Opposite direction circles. Still keeping our core engaged nice and strong. We got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Last up is going to be horizontal alternating row with our hands out front. Really squeeze as you pull back, get that back muscle involved, the lat muscle pulling with the bicep. That's what we're looking for on this move. Together in 3, 2, 1. Starting off with my left side. Let's work hard for 10 on this, everybody. Finishing off our seated exercises. Working hard for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to move to standing exercises. Good time to grab a drink of water. I'm going to adjust my camera. Good. And as we know, we have our chair here for support, for stability if we need it. Our movements will incorporate the chair, but also incorporate options to move away from the chair as we're feeling strong and confident. You got to know your body and know what you're able to do today and how you're looking to grow moving forward. So we have 5 moves we're going to do together. We love our classic march here. We're going to add a punch. So as we come up into a march, we're going to punch out with the opposite hand. Good high march, punching out, keeping the shoulders and back engaged the whole time like a good boxer. Next move will be a calf raise. Basic version. We could just stand towards the back of the chair. It adds just a little bit more range of motion if we come forward into a crouch here and then come up all the way onto our toes and add a slight crouch, angled crouch. That just works a different, fuller range of motion on the calf muscle there if that move feels good. We're going to push forward on our lunge. Getting better at these lunges. We've got our chair for support, and we're going to come down into a nice moving lunge. Hopefully that feels good after our warm up last time. If that's still feeling difficult and you want to just hang out here, that's great. And the stretch, that'll still work the lead leg. Another good one would be to come, you can't see me exactly, but behind your chair, good lunge position. And you could just do a stretch from there. You could also just do presses. Keep punching overhead. That'll add something to the movement if the moving lunge is not feeling great to you. But same thing as last time, we'll do 5 to 10 over here. 5 to 10 on this side. Feeling nice and strong. I'll give some technique pointers as we go. That's our standing lunge. Then we're going to do pull downs out of a wider sort of quarter squat, what we call a horse stance. Pulling down like that. If the quads get a little tired, legs get a little tired, you could certainly do a pull down from right there. We'll do both arms at the same time on that one. Last move is going to be what's called a dancer pose out of yoga. Most basic will be to curl the left leg up, support yourself on the chair with your left arm, reach the right arm overhead, hang out there for 40 seconds. Second round will do the opposite. A more difficult version is to go into an actual quad stretch there. This means you'll have a little bit less support on the chair, still reach your arm up overhead, and then turning this into more of the full yoga version. We bend forward into a kick, and we start to lean forward as deep into the lean as you can Again, range of options. You decide what's best for you this morning. Try to progress over time. Those are our 5 movements. We got about 10 minutes to work on this. Then we got about 10 minutes of meditation. We're starting off with a march and punch. Let's get into that. In 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg on the punch. Knees coming up nice and high, coordinated with a punch out in front. Again, that chair could be in front of you if you want the support. I just move it so you could see me, what I'm doing, but just know that chair is always there for you to grab onto if you need to. Sit down if you need a break. Let's work hard for 5, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Next up is going to be our calf raise, using the back of the chair to add a little bit more range of motion to this calf raise. But if you want to be nice and close in and work from there, that's fine. A little bit less of a range of motion. So try to work towards this, this more extended one if you can. Let's jump into that in 3, 2, 1. So coming down, crouching slightly, full extend through the toes, trying to get up onto the toes. Coming back down, crouch slightly, full extend through the toes. Working that quad, that calf muscle to full extension. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Pause there. 20 seconds of rest. Next up is going to be pull downs. So I like to do these out of a horse stance. Just get my quads involved, a little squat motion involved. If you want to be standing upright, that's fine. If you're feeling tired, we're going to pull down, pull all that weight down right into our body. Nice, strong pull down. Let's work that for 40 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Really flexing the lat muscles, the back muscles, the biceps, pulling a big weight down. Working hard for 5, 2, 1. Last rep, finish strong. Nice. Good. That's our 4th movement. Next up, we're going to do all on one side, and then the second round, we'll do all on the other side. We're going to do what's called the dancer pose out of yoga. So I'll take it from this side. Starting off with our right leg on, or our the easiest position to do it out of is just to do a leg curl and then to extend the opposite arm overhead. That's the most basic one. If you could join me getting into an actual quad stretch. So stretching that quad, reaching the opposite arm up overhead. Let's hang out here for 40. Starting together. This is the basic version. We got that chair in front of us if we need it. And if you could start to kick out a little bit and lean forward, that's a good way to transition into a more difficult yoga version of this move. But either way, we're trying to hang out here for 40 full seconds. Good balance work here, good isometric strength. Flex that back muscle to keep that right arm strong. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Returning to center. Good movement there. Again, range of possibilities. I'll try to model the different versions of that for you, and you decide what's working best for your body. In 20 seconds after a quick sip of water, we'll get back into our second and last round of standing exercises. Okay, one more round on this, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We start off with our march and punch. Let's get into that in 3, 2, 1. Let's work hard for 10, everybody. Getting that knee nice and high. Good punch out in front. 3, 2, 1. Excellent first move there. Next up are going to be calf raises. Hopefully out of that crouch using the chair. Full extension to the quads. Bring your mind to that quad muscle. Feel it engaged, flexing nice and strong to get you to full extension. Let's come back and do our little bent crouch here. Heels are flat on the floor, and then we come up together. In 3, 2, 1. Full extension through the quads, all the way up into my toes, back into a little crouch. Full extension through the quads. Through the calf muscle, sorry. Full squeeze. The calf's like a good slow movement, nice strong squeeze. Good stretch in the bottom. Work hard for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Pause in there. Next up, we got our standing lunge, which I think we skipped last time, or I skipped those. Strange. Sorry about that. We'll get both sides of our standing lunge in here. Good way to finish off, or maybe we did it. I don't know. My brain scrambled. Holidays coming up. Too many things going on. We all got to slow down. So let's get into our nice supported lunge. Again, if you want to stay here and just stretch it out, that's perfectly fine. But if you're ready to get our 5 to 10 good reps in, working hard with me for the first 20 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Using that chair for support. Coming down as deep as we can comfortably. Just 5 to 10 good pace reps, whatever's most comfortable for you. Feeling that quad and that front glute work in that left leg, that front leg. Let's do 2 more if you're with me, and then we'll switch to the other side. Good, switching to the opposite side of the chair. Now my right leg's out front, coming down into some good squats, lunges. My words are all jumbled up today, I apologize. But again, if you're just hanging out here stretching, that's fine. If you're with me, let's go for 3 more reps. 1, 2, 3. Those are some good lunges, good work to put in. If we missed the first round and you wanted to get some more, you're more than welcome to do some more lunges. But we're going to work together to the end here on our last 2 movements before our meditation. Next movement are going to be our pull downs out of a nice crouch squat position. Arms are going to reach up overhead. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, pulling down together at the same time. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We got our last dancer pose here to finish off. The right leg is going to be the leg coming up now. If you could just hold there in a curl, then the left arm will reach up overhead. That's the most basic position. Just try to hold that for 40 seconds. But that'll get you on your way to hopefully the move we're going to do together, which is the right leg's going to come up and do a quad stretch. Good posture, standing upright. My glutes are engaged to support me in my balance. Left arm's going to come up overhead. Let's try to hold this for 40. The advanced version, we'll start to lean forward a little bit, but let's just lock this in first. And then if you're feeling strong, you could start to kick that right leg into your right arm. That's what's going to reach you forward. Just sort of do a Superman takeoff from here, holding at a slight angle. That's getting us long on our way to some strong yoga moves. But just holding this for another 10 or wherever you are in the movement. Last balance work before our meditation. Deep breathing for 3, 2, 1. Excellent. That was our second set of standing exercises. Let's return to our chair for a meditation. Excellent work, everybody. Begin to slow that breathing down. Begin to let all the thoughts clear away from your mind. Settle into a place of peace and quiet. And you know, one of my favorite meditations is the idea of a sort of daily review, examine, lots of different names for it. But it comes out of the intuition and the impulse that the details of our life are important, meaningful, suggestive. And if we pay attention to them and see the different spirit, rhythm, movements coming through them, whatever we might call them, how they affect us, how we respond to them, we learn more about ourselves, about our friends and family, about the world we live in, and hopefully feel more peaceful and, I would say, generous and loving as a result. And the roots of a holiday like Thanksgiving and the various associated feasts and festivals from around the world is sort of similar in a way. It's often located at the end of the harvest as we go into the darker months. Good time to take stock of what am I grateful for? How did things go recently? Why did they go that way? And how do I hope to move forward? And that's the basic template for the highs, lows, and hopes meditation that I do. And as we go into Thanksgiving tomorrow, we'll take a moment to take stock of those different parts of our life. So I'd invite you to find a good contemplative posture. I've been enjoying sitting cross-legged, but that's just something I've discovered. If you like to sit with your feet flat on the floor, that's a good starting position. And we'll just take a deep breath in through our nose, allowing our stomach to expand on the in-breath. And as we exhale, the belly button goes towards the spine. And so the simple structure for this meditation is just to take the last day of our life and to take the time to really look at it, moment by moment, instant by instant. There are so many thoughts, impressions, feelings, encounters. And so we'll do a few minutes here together to model that. But then on your own, it's always good to touch base with this for a fuller session where you could really look at each detail, consider it, and see what it tells you about your life and your world. But continuing to breathe in deeply, we'll consider our last day. And we'll look at the highs of that period. Where did you feel most fully yourself, most fully alive, most fully in touch with your deepest self? And just let those moments come to mind. Look at them, savor them. And sit with them, breathing deeply for a few moments, and let them unfold all the different moments of gratitude, all the high moments from your last day. Continue to breathe in deeply through your nose. Let any impressions or moments or thoughts come to mind about your last day. And then transition to considering the lows, the moments where you felt distant from yourself, where you felt scattered or alienated, where you felt divided. And look at those moments with love and mercy and compassion. Just consider what led to them, what took you away from yourself, what movements or energies or spirits were acting upon you. And again, just dwell with those, consider them, but consider them with mercy and love. Continuing to breathe in deeply. We take any insights or considerations from the highs and lows of our last day. And then we look forward. How do we hope to be tomorrow? What energy or grace or insight do we hope for to be a fuller, deeper version of ourselves tomorrow. Name those intentions, name those hopes, hold them, and consider them for a few moments. And when you're ready, you could begin to return to full awareness. You could gently open your eyes. And you can just carry those hopes with you, knowing them as intentions, but being merciful when we fall short of them or when they fail to happen. And mostly I would encourage you to take this kind of format and to practice it on your own at some point. Because with each section, really, it's supposed to sort of, or it works well for me when it's open-ended, when I could dwell in the highs or the lows or the hopes, as long as each one is appropriate and data and images and impressions keep coming to mind. And that's a really healthy way for me to process my day, my emotions, my experience. There's so much that happens in a day. And so I hope it's a useful technique for you, a useful tool for you. And maybe after the next few days, which are filled with so much joy and love and kindness, but also I know some stress and difficulties, maybe loneliness. Maybe that's what might be in your life at some point. And if that is the case, then I hope this is a chance to feel loved and merciful towards yourself. Whatever it is that you go through the next few days, I hope you do find some joy and peace, and know that we're always here for you. And we had a beautiful community start to our holiday weekend here. It was a great way to start this next few days off with all of you. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis and Barbara from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Westchester County Legislator Ruth Walter, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.